Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I am so glad you've stopped by. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Hank & Henry tie-dye palette. This is in collaboration with Bianca, who I'm not sure who that is for sure, but obviously tie-dye is involved. So if you guys want to see what the color story of this tie-dye palette is, if you'd like to see what look I create, as well as if you'd like to know my initial first impressions of the palette, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. But first, a word from our sponsor. This portion of today's video is yet again sponsored by Dossier. Dossier is a fragrance company that creates essentially dupes for high-end luxury fragrances. For today's fragrance, I'm using yet again Woody Coriander, which is inspired by Dolce & Gabbana The One, which as many of you know retails for about $96. This fragrance instead was $29. And it smells so much like The One. Most fragrances on their website do typically range about $29 as well, but the best thing in my opinion about Dossier is the no questions asked return policy. If you get a fragrance, you try it, you decide that you don't like it, just return it and get your money back, leaving you free to discover the fragrance that you're gonna enjoy the most. Plus, so that you can save the most money possible, Dossier has provided me with a coupon code, which is CHRIS10, that you can use on their website to get 10% off any purchase. This is also combinable with the welcome offer of 20% off, so you can get a total of 30% off any purchase you want to try. I will also leave the link to Dossier's website down below. This is not an affiliated link. I do not make any commission from any purchases you make from the website. It's just there for your convenience. I want to give a special thanks to Dossier for partnering with me on this portion of the video. Now let's jump in to the eyeshadow palette review. Now, here's the unit carton that the palette comes in. It's definitely tie-dye, and we've got tie-dye printed on the front of it with the Bianca Linares signature at the bottom. And if we flip it over, it says the same thing, has her signature and a little quote from her, and then on the bottom it shows ingredients within the palette. Now, this palette is $45 on hankandhenry.com. You can also get the palette within a bundle that also contained a mirror and a poster of Bianca for $60, or you can just get the mirror for $25. Now let's see what the palette looks like. And there we have it. There's all 20 shades. It's a full matte palette, and it looks like it contains just about the full rainbow. Actually, no, it does contain the full rainbow and a black and a white. So we got plenty of versatility within mattes, just no shimmers. Now I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we're gonna get started on swatches. The first shade is the shade Cookie. Deadass. LA. Party. Babe. Pink Punch. Ho. Kai. Pumpkin. Nip Slip. Bubba. Mama B. Coconut. Lit. Pineapple. Spooky. Mamas. Barney. Evergreen. and MVP. And there we have it, everyone. There's the Hank & Henry x Bianca Linares tie-dye palette. You guys know, as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And then, as always, here's a video close-up of every single swatch. Okay, my base is applied. I started with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02. And to begin, I'm going to use the Dalton Buff Blender Brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Mama B. I was considering doing yet another rainbow cut crease, like I normally do whenever I get a rainbow palette for some reason, but I think I want to change it up a little bit. I want to still keep it very colorful and use many colors within the rainbow, but I don't want it to be so literal. You know what I mean? I want to kind of change it up a bit. So I think I'm gonna go for some kind of halo eye of some sort and see potentially what that can turn into. But I'm probably still gonna cut the crease no matter what, just because I got to. That seems to be taking a really long time to build up. I don't know if maybe it's just been too long since I've put my primer on and it's not really tacky anymore. Maybe it's not sticking quite as well. Well, I guess that's the start. Cute, huh? I love it. Okay, that built up pretty nicely, but it took a long time to get here. I was literally like shoving the bristles of the brush into the pan to try and break up the shadow in the palette so I could put it on my eye. I think that one was pressed just a little bit too tightly. I'm gonna use the Sigma E41 Duo Fiber Blend brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Nip Slip. And with this shade, I'm gonna start using it to blend out the red and just kind of use little bitty circular motions to just get that hard line gone. I definitely feel like this orange is picking up a lot better than the red did. I'm getting much more pigment much faster than I did with the red, even with using a duo fiber brush. That is a really nice blend. Look at how smooth that gradient is. And now using the Morpheum 506 little bitty tiny pointed blender brush. It's so cute and perfect for hooded lids, by the way. I'm gonna go into the neon yellow shade Lit. And I'm just gonna start going around all of the edges and blending out the orange. Now this one is really loosely packed. I can really easily go into that one. It breaks up like nothing. Since I've now gotten all of the mid-tones and light tones added, I'm going to start adding some deeper tones now and deepening up the inner portion of the crease. So I'm going to use this Morphe M507 pointed blender brush yet again, and now I'm going to go into the shade Bubba. And this shade is going to go right into the crease just above where if I have my eye open and I'm looking at you, you can just barely see the outline of it. I want it to just barely be visible. If it's even going to be deep enough to work, I might have to go in with the purple instead. And now, as my very last crease color, I'm going to go into the shade Cookie, and I'm going to use this little bitty Luxie 217 pencil brush. No, actually, I'm going to use Deadass instead. I might add Cookie on top of it or with it, but if I can avoid going as dark as black and still get some deepness that will work to blend, I'd rather do that. It really just depends on what color this red and blue together make. Obviously, it will be a purple, but I don't know if it's gonna be more like a gray purple, or a blue purple, or a red purple. Oh, I love that brush. I mean, that's like a graphic liner. It got so thin. That's perfect. So it does look like a blue, but I think it will work, I think. So I'm just gonna build it up a little bit more and then work on blending it out, really. After a whole bunch of blending, I think I'm finally ready to move on and cut my crease. And you know, somebody had left a comment the other day recommending I should film a video non-edited and just show all of the blending work that I do. Guys, if I were to not edit out the blending work that I do and the minute, detailed method that I blend, it would take forever. That being said, like I said, I am going to cut the crease now. I'm going to use the Sigma E62 cut crease brush and my P. Louise base IC bases. These are Hint of Mint and Touch of Frost. These are from the Pastel Winter collection from like 3 years ago. I'm going to mix these two shades together and try to get something close to this shade, or maybe this shade somewhere right here, because that's what I want the halo in the center to be. Then I have a couple of other products I'm gonna incorporate with it to add just a little bit of shimmer. I gotta have a little bit of shimmer in my life. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the crease off camera. Give me just a millisecond for you, probably like 30 minutes for me, and I'll be right back. Crease is now cut. So now I'm gonna go into the shade Babe, and I'm gonna use this Morphe M124 brush. It's just a flat packing brush with a little bit of a fluffiness at the end of it. I just wanna be able to pick up a lot of pigment so I can pack it on really nice. Oh, that is so perfect. They weren't as close of a match as I thought they were for the base and the shadow, but that shade works amazingly on top of that. It looks like it's glowing. That's cool. Oh yeah, that is building up very nicely. And I know the actual cut, the halo cut, isn't very clean right now, but I plan on kind of sharpening all of the edges once I get the pigment applied. I just find that a lot easier to go in and blend it out after I put it on. Now we're gonna put this palette and these shades pigmentations to the test. I don't have a tacky base on these two outer edges, so I'm gonna use that same Morphe M124 I tried to use in the shade Babe that I just color switched off. And now I'm gonna go into the shade LA, and we're gonna see if LA will stick to the other sides of my eyeball that don't have a tacky base on them. Wow. Okay, I have so many matte shades built up on my eye now, and extra base, because you know I'm all about that. Then for the very last part of the lid, I'm gonna take this Morphe M222 Bullet Crease Blender and go back into the shade Deadass, the dark navy that I used in the crease, so that way I can pull this light blue into the navy, which will in turn blend into the purple, hopefully. Then I can kind of blend everything together and see if I can make this look somewhat reasonable. Oh, that's amazing. I can't believe even without a tacky base, I'm getting these to still stick to the lid. Granted, they're not as sticky and opaque as they were on the tacky base when I cut the crease, but still, they're still sticking. I think that I've now gotten everything blended accordingly, or so far at least. So now I need to go off camera and do all of my face makeup so that we can come back and finish off the lower lash line. I'll go ahead and get some lashes applied, some liner in the waterline, you know, the whole shebang. And then whenever I come back, we'll be able to finish it off and I'll be able to give my final thoughts on the Hank & Henry tie-dye palette. So I'll see you guys in just... As my grandmother would say, I got my face on. Now let's finish off the lower lash line. And I am going to duplicate the halo section of the crease onto the lower lash line. But I'm gonna add a little bit of this Stila Shimmer and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow in the shade Freedom right in the center on the lower lash line. Maybe, if it works out. I'm gonna start with the ColourPop E28 brush, little bitty bullet brush, and I'm gonna go back into the shade Deadass. And I am just gonna start putting this shade on the outer and inner corners of the lower lash line. Then last, for the actual shadow, I'm gonna use the Morphe E36. Again, a little teeny tiny bullet blender brush. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Babe. And Babe is gonna go right here. Boop. Oh, that's so cute. You know, even though that's sort of a pastel shade, it still went on set concealer really pigmented. And with that, that is essentially the last step of the eye look. I am gonna go ahead and go off camera, throw on this Stila Shimmer and Glow. I might put it on the top too, I don't know yet, we'll see. Throw on mascara on my lower lashes and some lip that I'm unsure what it's gonna be, probably a gloss, and I'll be right back. So I'll see you guys in just a second. The look is now complete. And I love this look. It looks like it's glowing from the middle, and the halo combined with the pigmentation and the quality and the colors, it just works, and it's so fun. And to answer the question, would I recommend the Hank & Henry X Bianca Linares tie-dye palette? I believe I would. As a matter of fact, because of this. Now in the beginning, starting out with that red shade that I started out with, I did have quite a lot of difficulty just building it up and getting it super pigmented, as well as the same problem with the second shade that I went into. But I could still build them up and make them really opaque. And as long as I can do that, I don't see a problem with it, because that just means that you're going to be able to get it sheer if you choose, or built up and really bold if you choose. And that's pretty awesome. Now, for me personally, I do really like a shimmer a lot. Now, if I had to pick a fully matte look or a fully shimmer look, I would pick a fully matte look. I feel like I need mattes in my life to make a good base, but a full look is still creatable without using a shimmer. However, I love shimmer, and I just think every look can use a little bit of shimmer. Even for this look, I still had to add just a tiny bit on the lower lash line, just because I just couldn't go without it. But all that being said, that's the only thing I would change about this palette if I could. I would maybe take out some of the mid-tone blending shades and add in a couple of shimmers. Even if it was just a white topper shade that would turn any of the mattes into a shimmer, I think that would be really cool. But either way, the versatility in this palette is astronomical. Infinity, if you will. There are so many looks that could be created with this, and I truly feel like the quality within the eyeshadow palette and the formula that it's made from can help in achieving those versatile looks. So, yes, I definitely would recommend it. But if you like shimmer in your life, have some single eyeshadows or some liquid eyeshadows readily available to add on to the look. Before we part ways for this video though, I am going to zoom you guys in real quick so you can see the look close up. And that is it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video so much. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know you enjoyed it. It helps me understand what type of videos you guys enjoy so that I can continue to create those types of videos. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye!